Good morning. Happy Friday. Did this feel like an exceptionally long week to anybody else? Holy buckets, it felt like it took forever to get to Friday. Yay, we're here. So, welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum. Here are some words of wisdom to start your day well. First person popping on. Good morning, whoever is here. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. We'll give it a minute for others to pop in. Ruth Ann, Johnny on the spot. Here you are. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. So, we'll let everybody else pop in, and I got to tell you the story of the card today. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for the sunshine and the smiley face. Smiley face is good. I was feeling a little bit irritable this morning, and I wasn't sure why. And I'm going to do some journaling on it once we're done here. But I realized that it's snowing out a bit, and that irritated me. And there was something else. Oh, the water ran out of my humidifier, and that irritated me. I'm like, okay, something's up. We better check in. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. And then I pulled the card, and it picked us as usual, and that irritated me because I'm like, I don't feel a whole lot of affinity to this card today. I have in the past, but not today. What the heckers? So as I was reading the part for the card, I got the idea that I had wanted to share cool little prose that we used last night on the Episcopal Diocese of Northern Michigan breathwork and meditation gig that we do every Thursday. Good morning, Megan. Glad you're here. Welcome. And that really I had an affinity for. I felt it very deeply. And I thought, well, they're both talking about strength. They're both talking about strength. So we'll use the card as the lead in, and then I want to share this little reading for you also, because and those of you who it's on a site called, good morning, Nancy, glad you're here. It's on a site called The Work of the People. And so if you want to check out The Work of the People, I believe it's usually a paid subscription, and I get in through the diocese. But you might be able to do some testing things. Oh, awesome. Cool. Good morning, Maureen. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Yes, long week. Long week. But here we are. Here we are. We're still vertical. Yay, us. And, let's rub our hands together a little bit. And let's send some good energy out to those who are struggling with the wildfires, those who are struggling with health issues, those who are struggling with all the upheaval that's going on internally right now. Good morning, Beth. Glad you're here. I can't tell you the number of people. I think I had 3 clients yesterday, all of whom were in the upheaval. And so I was reassuring them not to feel like the Lone Ranger, because across the board, it feels like people are having nightmares. Old crap is coming up, old abuse stuff. They're revisiting things that, one person last night, good morning, Janine, I saw your post, yay you. People going through, coming across stuff from their past, old journals, old letters. For one, it was newspaper clippings from a particular person, etc., etc., etc. Opportunity to revisit those things, work through some more stuff, and let it go. Good morning, Abigail. Well, and that was another piece I wanted to share with you. So that particular person is doing some clutter clearing, and she was lamenting that, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let's send some energy to those in North Carolina also, and any of those who have dealt with the extreme weather stuff, because once it's passed, what happens? We all kind of forget about it because we're not living with it day to day. But hell, there's even people in New Orleans still struggling with Katrina fallout. So send an energy wherever there's struggle, wherever there's stuff that needs some love and kindness, sending it over there, wherever it needs to go, and bringing it in. Bringing it in. Some love and kindness for ourselves. We talked about that a little bit in terms of viewing ourselves with some grace. So hopefully some of what I'm going over today will be helpful. I feel like I left a story dangling. Can't pull it. We'll see if it comes back in. Anyway, this particular card, in the past I was like, ooh, this is a great one. Today it was like, meh. But then it triggered the, oh, I could do this other little piece, and that would bring it all up in my mind. The first piece may work great for you guys today anyway. So, good morning to whomever I've missed in the mix here, because we have 9 people on today at the moment. So our card comes from Earth Magic, Stephen D. Farmer. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out. I love when someone is brave enough to do something. You did it. That's fabulous. Thank you. It was good to read your little post. And again, there are no accidents. There's a reason that my Facebook on my phone was set to my personal account as opposed to my business account where it's usually set. And then Janine, your post popped up on my personal account in the feed. And yeah, and that's a strength thing also. Being willing to uproot your life and move somewhere else. And look at 10 years and now you're revisiting that. What did that mean to me? What did I learn? What might have happened if I had chosen not to be brave and go? Perfect time for that sort of review. So again, Earth Magic, breathe in, breathe out. I'm going to move Mother Nature closer here so you can see all the little critters and creatures that she protects. Our card for today is Mountain Strength. Decluttering. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. So let me go back before I forget that piece. So she's doing some decluttering, and she's settled on 3 piles. There's garbage, there's donate, and there's keep. And she was lamenting that the keep pile was way too big. I said, don't worry about it for right now. Try this instead. Because otherwise you bog down and you stop, right? And you don't do anything. I said, take what you already have for the garbage and throw it out. For the donate and do a run to Vinny's, wherever you're going to go. I prefer Vinny's. There's stories behind that. Anywho. And then keep going with the process. Just move the stuff out that you've already moved it. Take care of that, because otherwise it sits there and somehow it gets incorporated back into your living, right? Move it out. Move it out. I don't care if the pile is a half a carload. If you're beginning to waver, if you're beginning to bog down, take what you have and dispense with it. Be done with it. Thank you, thank you. Yes, Nancy, I appreciate it. Be my brain. It's good. So then I said, once you've done that, you've gotten rid of the 2 piles. You have a choice. You can continue to declutter and keep your 3 piles. But since you're already feeling like your keep pile is too big, declutter your keep pile. Go back over it again. Take out what you now consider to be garbage, what you now consider to be donate, and your keep pile will have gone down significantly. So sometimes when you bog down with the clutter clearing stuff, it's just a matter of doing something a little different. So in this case, you're decluttering your keep pile. Then go back to decluttering whatever room, the whole house, whatever. All right? So just a little tip that hopefully helps you move things on. Kindly and lovingly blessing them on their way, right? All right. Thank you for that. Back to, declutter your keep pile. Absolutely. Back to Mountain and Strength. Look at that beautiful picture. Isn't that gorgeous? And interestingly, last week, again, I started having an image that I post when I'm writing. So I like to have something that stimulates each of the senses. So I usually have Insight Timer, have some, whether it's singing bowls or whatever on there. Exactly. Yes, good. throw some tips on there. Let's see what we get. And for those of you who don't know, who are relatively new to my channel, I do have a clutter clearing course that I offered, and it's evergreen on my website, so empowermentandpurpose.com, and I believe, I'm trying to remember which tab it's under. I don't even know. But if you go to my website, you can cruise around and check things out. And website's getting ready for a redo. You just kind of know. It's like, okay, I need to clutter clear my website. Anywho, back to the mountain. Yes, awesome, fabulous. Back to the mountain. I've decided when I'm doing my writing, I like something visual to look at also. Sometimes I do bodies of water, rivers in particular. I like looking at rivers. Trees, I've done trees in the past. This time I was doing mountains. So I've got this beautiful image of Denali, and I'm trying to remember what are the other ones that are in. So you get like thumbnails of maybe 6 of them. And that's what I've been looking at. Beautiful images just like that. Just like that. So let's see what it says, and then I'm going to do this little reading thing for you. Mountain, strength. And I'm grounding through my feet here. The massiveness of the mountain in this image, so I'll let you look at it while I'm talking about it, bearing the blankets of snow as spectacular hues from the sun reflect upon its body, evokes a sense of impenetrable and immovable strength and stature. Now, that makes me laugh because you know how my brain works. You all have been around for a while. You know how my brain works. So I go immediately to The Princess Bride, where Inigo Montoya is sitting drunk up against the house, and he's talking about going back to the beginning because he's trying to figure out what's next. And he says, "I will not be moved." And then he gets picked up and hauled off. But nonetheless, I will not be moved. Kind of reminds me of this. A mountain's quiet, resolute immensity leaves us in awe. There's that word again, awe. Awe keeps showing up. Wonder keeps showing up. So, awe and wonder. And inspires us to reach for greater heights. Yet it can also pose challenges. The firm base of the mountain evolves to the narrower crest in its attempt to reach the sky. More daring individuals become enamored by the peak and see it as something to conquer, although it can never be truly conquered. When the mountain feels threatened in some way or simply shrugs its shoulders, the strength exhibited can wreak havoc for all beings caught on its skin. You know, where the other day I was watching a video from when Mount St. Helens blew, and the sheer power in that thing was amazing. Absolutely stunning to witness that kind of power. So here's the guidance for us. It makes no sense to deny the strength you have at the cost of allowing yourself to be reactive and subject to external influences far beyond what is healthy for you. It is our job to take good care of ourselves. And that was something I worked on with another client yesterday. Prioritizing self. And she stated flatly, I have prioritized my husband, my kids, my job, everything but me, basically. Imagine yourself as a mountain of strength, solidly grounded in the earth, your head held high as if you were touching the sky. So, stomp your feet a little bit, grounding through your feet. Now stretch up. You're not straining, you're just stretching everything up. If you're one of these who tends to put your chin forward, pull it back, drop your shoulders. Imagine that there's a string out the top of your head, pulling you up. What does that feel like? This is how your body is in alignment. Most of us are doing the So just practice every once in a while. Pull yourself into alignment. Stretch. Be the mountain. Grounded completely through your feet and reaching up. There we go. Fabulous. Wonderful. Self-care can be hard, but the more we practice it, it's kind of that thing of once we get the vehicle moving, it keeps moving. We need to get it moving though. And when we believe it's hard, we're less likely to engage, aren't we? So, another client yesterday, got a whole bunch of client stories. Wanted to reboot her life. She could say flat out, what I'm doing right now is not working. I've known this for a while. Let's do something different. Well, she had submitted to me a plan. And I looked at that plan and I thought, oh, holy hell. Good morning, Angie. Glad you're here. Way too much, way too fast. And then what happens? You're setting yourself up for a failure, right? So I suggested pick one thing off of that plan you created and do that for a week. Get that established. I don't care if it's the drinking of the water. Pick something, brushing your teeth, whatever. Do it for a week. Get it a little more established. Then add another one. If the first one falls apart, it's too soon yet. Go back to the first one, get that established. And oftentimes I will have people who complain, and man, I certainly have done it, it'll take forever to get a routine in place. Yeah, and if you don't do any of it, you're never going to have a routine in place. Just start. Start where you're at. All right? Okay, so we did our little mountain stretch. Do so without straining, just as the mountain itself does not strain. The current situation calls for you to be vigilant, but not to the point of fear or paranoia. Be that rock of strength that you are capable of becoming. The solidness of your resolve will be clearly communicated when you model yourself after the towering immensity of a mountain. Standing steady like a rock is what's called for at this time. So now I want to share this little thing from the Work of the People, and it's called The Divine Potter. So it's a faith-based site. There's lots of theologians speaking about various things. Richard Rohr's on there, a lot of great stuff. This one is called The Divine Potter, The Sacred Art of Transformation. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes. Not if you're driving, but close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it go. And open to receiving whatever part of this is here for you. I love the prose in here. It's absolutely beautiful. But just take in what you hear. A quiet wisdom in the clay. A silence that holds the deep memory of the earth. In unshaped form, rests in potential, waiting for the artist's touch. As we too wait to be formed by the unseen hands of grace. The potter begins with trust, knowing what clay will become is already hidden within it, waiting to be revealed. This is how divine works in each of us, a slow, unfolding mystery. On the wheel of life, we are always becoming. I loved that line. On the wheel of life, we are always becoming. With each turn, we are shaped, sometimes by the soft pressure of love, and at times by the firm force of struggle. Yet through it all, there is a dance between artist and clay, a co-creation. The potter listens, responding to the subtle movements of the clay, and the clay in turn yields, becoming more than it was. We are invited into this dance with the divine, a dialogue between our longing and the holy shaping that molds us into vessels of love. Think about that, yourself as a vessel of love. Imperfection is not failure, but texture. Each flaw in the clay tells the story of its journey through the potter's hands, just as the scars we bear are marks of our becoming. In the divine economy, nothing is wasted. The cracks, the uneven places, they are invitations to see beauty in what is unfinished, to love what is incomplete. We are all unfinished works of art, being shaped into the wholeness that is our truest form. There is a grace in surrender. The clay does not resist the hands that mold it, but finds its strength in yielding. So too we are called to yield, not to abandon ourselves, but to trust the process, to trust the hands that shape us. In the surrender, we do not lose ourselves, but are drawn more deeply into the truth of who we are. The potter knows the form the clay is becoming, even when the clay cannot yet see it. And then comes the fire, the heat that transforms, not to destroy, but to purify. In the kiln, the clay becomes its true self, hardened, resilient, ready to hold life within it. So too we pass through the fires of our own lives, those moments of trial and refining. The fire doesn't come to break us, but to make us more fully what we are meant to be. Through the flame we are made strong, vessels capable of holding love, light, and the holy breath of life. And in the end, the pot is more than just a container. It is a work of art, a reflection of the artist's hands and heart. As we are shaped, so too are we being called to be vessels of love, of compassion, of justice. We are meant to carry something of the divine within us, to be poured out for the world in small, quiet acts of kindness. Isn't that beautiful? This is the sacred rhythm of creation, the journey of transformation, from the earth to the hands of the artist, to the fire, and finally into the world. Isn't that awesome? I love that. So that comes from a website called The Work of the People. And I'm not sure if there's free stuff on there. I know there's a paid subscription, but it's tons of beautiful stuff like that. And this particular one, there were 2 versions of it. Good morning, Diane. Glad you're here. There was the video with images of multiple potters working their craft, working with the clay. And there was the same with subtitles. So I like watching the one with subtitles first, because then I know what the words are being said. The woman who did this one is very articulate, so you don't miss the words. But sometimes with some of them, it's harder. What word did they say? And then watched it again with just the images, and it was really awesome. Really awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, we get a little dusting of snow out there. So that is our card for today. Mountain, strength. So periodically through the day, maybe you practice that. Grounding and rising up. Just straightening everything out. And if you hear a few pops, don't be surprised. And in terms of the clutter clearing stuff, try some things. Try some little things. Sometimes it can be setting a goal. I'm going to put 5 things in a bag every day for a week that are going to go to St. Vinny's. Set a goal. Do some little stuff. It doesn't have to be the I'm tearing the entire house apart, making a mess, exhausting myself, and then I don't want to do it again for 5 years. Not a good approach. So, have an awesome Friday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.